Hey guys, EBPMAN here, and today we're going to be doing the unboxing of the Gear IconX. Let's check them out. Now, about a year ago, we did a review of the Gear Icon first generation, and while I loved the way they felt, the case was a little too flimsy in my mind, and the most important thing is the battery life was absolutely abysmal. We're talking, an hour, maybe an hour and 15 minutes at the most. I could push it maybe to an hour and 30 if I disabled all the features. So I'm glad to see that Samsung seems to have addressed all those issues, and they claim that this set has fantastic battery life. So let's go ahead and check this out, the Gear IconX, and we'll see what's changed and how it's improved. Now, straight right out of the box, if we take a look at what we see here on the side, they're addressing some of my major complaints. 5 hours of streaming and 7 hours of MP3 playback. Now, there's a difference between these two, right? The first one is that if you have a phone, which most of you will, and you're streaming from your phone via Bluetooth to the earbuds, you're going to get 5 hours, which is absolutely fantastic because we've been reviewing a lot of earbuds on the channel, and I give thumbs down to those earbuds that are under an hour or an hour and a half. So most of the good ones that we've been seeing are 4 hours plus. So this falls into that good category. But then 7 hours, that's where you're listening to music straight off of the earbuds because they have built-in memory and they're able to store music directly. So you can do this without, or listen to music without having a phone or a watch. Which, by the way, if you have the Gear, either the Classic or the Frontier or even the Sport, these will pair up nicely with them. It does have a built-in fitness tracker, right? Has voice commands, and it's supposed to fit really good. And I'll tell you, the last ones fit well. I had no complaints about the fit. I just had complaints about the battery life. So let's go ahead and open this up and see what the things look like. All right. So the packaging is very similar to what we saw with the Gear Sport. The experience is pretty much there. Now, the charging container and cradle became a little bit chubbier. This is a lot chubbier. The previous one was more pill-like. And while this is still pill-shaped, it's a little bit chubbier. And here we have our two earbuds. And they've also changed slightly, so I can tell you that the shape is somewhat reminiscent, but it's a little bit now longer as it goes into the ear canal. So here are our earbuds. And now let's see what's under here, if there's anything. Yep, there's more stuff. So here you have a user guide. I'm going to say that these are ear gels and stabilizers. This is neat. We'll talk about that in a second. And it looks like there's nothing else in there. Let's see what this is. This is probably going to be a little charging brick. Let's see if I'm right. Micro USB. Ooh, USB-C. Nice job, Samsung. So, modern USB-C charging cable, and then you have this converter as well. So, is this a converter? No, this is another USB-C dongle. We'll see what that's for. Anyways, that's what you have in the box. So just to recap, you do have user guide, you have your gels and stabilizers, USB-C cable, not one, but two adapters. Here you have a micro USB adapter, and then you have a USB-C adapter. I would guess that what you can do with these is use it either to update the earbuds or charge the earbud cradle by using this pass-through. You have each earbud, and then what you have is your charging cradle. Now, taking a close look at the earbuds, let's take a close look at this. You'll notice that the earbuds themselves have no controls. So there isn't really anything that you'll be pushing on the sides. There you see your pinhole mic, but everything is controlled in this area. You'll notice here's one of the little wings, one of the stabilizers, and then you do have an indicator showing your left. Because you're able to monitor your heart rate, you see that little sensor area is there, and then these are all the contact points for charging. And then the same thing happens with the right side. So the right, you have the right indicator, you have your stabilizer, and then again, all of the controls happen in this area here. There's really nothing to press. So when I'm pushing down, I don't feel a clicky sound or I don't feel any feedback there. Now, taking a closer look at the charging cradle, we'll see if we can let me cut this thing out. Alright, so now taking a closer look at the cradle, you do have your product serial number on the very bottom. The cradle itself as you push it, opens up, and it looks like, yeah, it kind of, and I'll put it like this and see if it doesn't. It looks like it's gravity based. So as soon as I push it, it kind of pushes up a little bit, but it doesn't spring all the way by itself. You can see that you have the two charging points on each side, and you have the left and right indicator. The cradle itself, I don't want to say that it feels cheap. It's very lightweight. Has a matte and soft finish to it. It feels a little better than the previous version. You know, it has a better clasp. I can tell you right here. And then let's see if these have magnetic. No, they're not. One of the things I like is there's a lot of other manufacturers out there, not just the Braggy company, that have their earbuds kind of magnetically come down. I can tell you that I like that magnetic feedback because it tells me that I placed it correctly, but I would always also say that I just noticed that by closing this, there's pressure that comes down, and it feels that that's how it engages. You'll notice that these LEDs did not turn on until I closed this. So there's a good thing because this pushing down actually engages the battery and starts it charging. The bad thing is that if this mechanism ever gets damaged, then you're going to have a hard time getting your earbuds charged because the contacts, you know, with the magnet, since they don't exist, it doesn't drive that tight fit, nor does it drive charging. On the back here, you'll notice that it looks like you have a Bluetooth button right here, and then because you can see the little Bluetooth symbol right there, and you have your charging port. Let's plug it in and see what it looks like. Now what we'll do is we'll go ahead and plug that in here so you see how it's charging. So that's your LED charging indicator, and it's the same color as the ones over here. So this is going to be the charging rate or the status of the earbuds. Red meaning that they haven't been charged or they're depleted, and then on this side this is your cradle itself. So the earbuds have 4 gig of memory. They're running Bluetooth 4.2. They do have an auto track feature. That means that if enabled, when you start walking or running, it's going to start tracking it automatically for you. So it's going to track your distance, it's going to track your time, it's going to track your calorie. We've seen that with some of the even the watches. So like this watch itself, as soon as you start moving and you're at a regular pace, it immediately identifies that you're walking or jogging, and it's going to track it for you. You get 7 hours of playback, right, if you're standalone, 5 hours of streaming, and you get 4 hours of talk. 1 hour of use with a 10-minute charge. So if you put this in the case for 10 minutes, you get an hour charge, which is actually really good. I've seen other earbuds of this type where it takes an hour to fully charge. There's no fast charging. There's nothing that's going to give you that capability. So to be able to charge it within just 10 minutes and get an hour more usage, this is great. The earbuds themselves have 82 milliamp hour batteries. So each one has 82 milliamp hour batteries, and the case is a 340 milliamp hour case. Now it's going to allow you to charge one full charge, and that is fully depleted to fully charged, which is also really good. So now let's talk about the pairing process and what happens in the app. All right, so now from a fitness perspective, well, this will do that auto tracking that we talked about. One thing that it lost, and I didn't realize that when I started the video, was the heart rate monitor. So the heart rate monitor feature that I thought was part of these is not. So they eliminated the heart rate monitor, and I think by eliminating, that's how they boosted up their battery life, because again, to have that kind of battery life is pretty significant. So no heart rate monitor, but you do have all those other fitness features if you want to use these as standalone. Now keep in mind that you could pair that with your phone, or you can pair it with the watch, and like I said, you can pair it with any device that is a Bluetooth device. It doesn't have to be a Samsung device.
Go.
Alright, so wanted to show you how flush the earbuds are. They are very flush to the ear. They don't really stand out that much, and this is how deep they go into the ear canal. They are very secure. They don't come out. And again, great noise isolation because of how deep they go into the ear canal. All right, so there you saw the overall wear, how they fit, which they fit really deep in the ear, and again, are decently flush. Now, I always get this question: can the earbuds be used independently? In other words, can I only use one in my ear and then leave the other one charging? Theoretically, what that does is it really extends the battery life even further, right? Because you have the battery life of one earbud on its own is going to be 5 to 7 hours depending on how you're using it. So that means if you use them separately, then you get 5 to 7 hours per earbud. And the answer is yes. So what I did is I tested these. I took one out, make sure the container was closed, and what happened was the actual Gear software. Let me bring that software up so I can show you what will happen. So the Gear software itself, this one right here, which sees the earbuds, you notice how right now they're both off, is going to show the one that's in your ear is going to show as on and green. So the software knows which one is on. So that means you can take phone calls, you can listen to music, all coming from one ear. If you put that earbud back and then you're using the next one, it does the same thing. So I tested making phone calls and taking music with one earbud, taking phone calls and listening to music with another earbud, and they both worked independently. I did get a little notification that the earbuds, one wasn't on, and I got like a little exclamation point, but once again, they worked independently. So this concludes my review of the Gear IconX. I have to say this year's model, the 2018 version, very impressed with it. I'm going to give this a buy. This is definitely a thumbs up, given the fact that they've addressed the battery life and you can use these independently. And they also sound great too. So if you have any comments or questions about these, leave it in the comment area below. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up. And as always, don't forget to share and subscribe. And watch out for my comparison of these to the Braggy Dash Pro, as well as some of the other earbuds that we reviewed on the channel. Thanks for watching.